Where's your phone, Mom?
In the house, and you blocking the door.
All right,
Get
next
it.
question. It was something about a relationship.
Now do the dance. Stop and do the dance.
I'm Deja Gordon,
And what are you doing now?
and right now we're.
How is your?
How is it having a long distance relationship? Okay, so for me, something in that sense. But for me, once again, I knew that this is what I wanted to do. So anyone who would have came along, I told them straight from the jump, just like I did with Andrew. I said before he even tried to get with me, I'm moving to Africa in 2 years. That's my plan. So if you're not rolling with it, you can just. So I told him, if you are not willing and able to consider moving to Africa, then it doesn't make sense for us to even communicate. Like, I don't have time for it.
Yeah, but when you in a long distance relationship, you have to make sure y'all on the same page. Because,
Yeah, but that was the beginning part. I didn't even get to that part
carry on.
yet.
Pass me a cookie while you talk.
So that was from the jump. Now, secondly, once I was preparing to leave, I just basically wanted to make sure that we were both on the same page, and we kind of have an understanding where it's like, this is not only for me. I'm building a foundation for if and when we do have children or a family of our own, so that they won't have to, just be going to work and school at the same time. I just have like this mind, like I have this vision of what my life should be, and I aim to achieve that vision. So once again, we are on the same page as far as like what we both want, what I want, what he wants, and he supports me.
That's important too. You got to get somebody who support you.
Yeah.
And support you. And I'm not talking about financially, obviously. I'm talking
Right.
about, let a couple dollars your way
Financially,
can't
yeah,
hurt.
that'll be good.
But I feel like because you don't want to be over there struggling and stressing about certain things, and then he's like, oh, when you're coming back, why you da-da-da.
Exactly.
So I feel like y'all have a good balance of.
I feel like it's all about understanding too,
Yeah.
because
You gotta know who
it
you're with.
wasn't hard. Like, oh my gosh, babe, I'm gonna miss you so much, because it's like we travel, right? We do travel, and for me, it was like, I'm coming back. If anything, he can come visit me. You know what I mean?
He did.
So it's not, to me, it was. I feel like there's no problem bigger than my dream that will prevent me from getting it done. So we make it happen, we make it work, and that's just that. If you want it to work out, you'll find ways to make it happen. Next question, which was what? What was the next question?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like, did you get some?
Oh, what did I learn? Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that was what have I learned being in Ghana, and for you it was gonna be like, if you see like a change in me, or like, what have you learned also. So first of all, me being in Ghana, that's the first time I've, like, my first apartment living on my own, and it's
different than living with your mama.
It's different, but I don't find, like, I don't want to say it's not easy and it's not hard, because once again, for me, whatever has to get done just has to get done.
But you know what,
and that's just how I look at it. Like,
I think also the fact that you paid up your rent. I think because for
right.
most people, the stressor is I'm gonna pay the rent this month.
True.
But I feel like since you paid that up,
I don't have to worry about it for another 6 months.
Exactly. So that free you up to focus your energies on other things.
So that's a plus.
I believe that's part of it.
But also, I like I keep saying, it's really just about, I feel like I mentally prepared myself throughout the years to be okay on my own. Like, I spent time by myself while I was here, and I've learned to enjoy my own company and take advantage of silence and just sitting in silence. and meditating and reading books and listening to, like, all those things came into play because once again, when it's light out, I would just sit and be okay with it. Some people can't sit and be comfortable within their own skin, within themselves. So I feel like within the years from 2015 to now, knowing that that's when I wanted to leave, everything prepared me for what I've experienced thus far. But there's times where I do miss my family because, as you can see, every Sunday we have Sundays dinners, and going from that every Sunday and then just being there by myself, it's like I'm calling on FaceTime, like, what y'all doing? And nobody's paying me no
Like,
mind on the
bye.
phone. Exactly.
Interrupting
So
dinner.
I'd be a little salty, but it's all good. And what have I learned? I want to say, like, patience. I definitely learned to be more patient and understanding. I try to put myself in Ghanaian shoes when I'm approaching them with something new, like a new idea, a new dish, a new menu. Sometimes they look at me like, what is this? Rasta pasta, what's that? And when I'm showing them rice and peas, they like, is this wache? Which is kind of like their rice and peas. But
wait, what about the festival and the jerk chicken? Do you have chicken and
donut?
I was like, what?
But I said it was similar because remember we tried their donut on.
Oh yeah, when they were
so
selling
it's
on
similar, but just as a
harder.
description, so that they can understand what it is. But for me, I love to educate them and let them know that we have things in similar,
very similar,
especially with the Jamaican culture. Like I said, the wache and the rice and peas, you would
and
you
they
could barely tell
educate
them apart from
and they
what
educate
it
you
is.
on some of the things that are
Similar.
Oh, that's just chicken and donut.
So I want to say I've learned patience and to look at things from a different perspective, and I feel like living in Ghana, you have to kind of be like 10 steps ahead. So when I'm here, I'm more nonchalant because it's like I'll expect that the electricity will always be on. Now in Ghana, if I have, let's say, something to do, let's say I have a meeting tomorrow morning, and
you gotta type up some things maybe.
Type up something, or let's say even iron my dress. I don't want to go in a meeting looking wrinkled, so I would prepare from the night before. Simple things like that where we take for granted here, where it's like, okay, let me just prepare myself the night before. Just very simple things. Just being open-minded to, well, I've kind of been that way, but just trying new things and understanding that what I'm bringing is something new, so I can expect them to be open. You know what I mean? Like, it's just,
no, you gotta.
I have to understand. Once again, put myself in their shoes for something new.
Because if they came over here with some wache and stuff, and
and we see like fufu and like, sometimes we see these things and it's like, I don't know about that. Yeah. So that's how I look at it. I always try to do that, and I feel like it has allowed me to take a step back and use my words carefully to describe things and
by certain things.
Mm-hmm. Well, and that also helps too with just understanding cultures in a whole.
When you travel and you go places, you realize that I remember when I was traveling more often before. When you go, especially as an American, we tend to be a little abrasive. We tend to be a little.
We feel like we're the best country.
And when we say we, I'm not talking
things.
about me, because I've always been sensitive to different cultures, because I've always been fascinated by different cultures. And so my purpose is always to learn and gain knowledge, as opposed to like, what is that? I'm always like, although I'm not eating no animals, I'm sorry, like no crickets and stuff. When we went to Japan and stuff, no, not doing that. But it's like in Japan when we went there, and it's us there, and a lot of people thought we was in a rap group or something, or we was on TV.
Exactly,
because,
just because we black.
Like, I mean, I don't even, but that was a while ago. Obviously, things have changed since then. But and I remember when my cousin used to go way back when, they thought he was Biggie Smalls.
Who?
In Japan, when No, not in Japan. He was in Hong Kong. But remember when we went to Hong Kong and they wanted to take a purpose? I say that to say that it's always good to learn cultures, and you always have to be respectful of cultures. And sometimes we can tend to be a little bit insulting without realizing it. Because I know, somebody was like, "Oh, Africa is not about kids and stomach or whatever. Educate yourself." Well, that's what we're trying to do. We are trying to educate ourselves, and
trying. That's what we're doing.
We are educating ourselves
and others along the way.
Yeah, because how many people since you went? You know how many people
And I'm so sad because 9 of my friends were on their way. They were supposed to. They had their flights booked April 9th.
Isn't that crazy?
We all supposed to be in Ghana, turning up right now, but because of this pandemic. But it's all right because they're going to still come. We're going to make it, and it's going to be
and
more.
And it's time to readjust and recalibrate and get your stuff to, get it more right how you want it to be. But I just feel like, what I noticed about you upon your return from Africa, you seem a little bit more grounded, and you seem a little bit more, what's the word? I always said that you were unimpressed. That's always been the word I used from the time we were younger. Hello, how are you?
That's funny because Michael said that too. Michael Griffiths. He always be like, everything is just fine with you. You just roll with the flow. It's
but
whatever.
You've always been like that from the time you were younger. Like, it's like, oh, did you go to Disney World? How was it? So it's nice.
Seriously, that's how
wow, really? I'm more excited than you. So, you've always been kind of unimpressed. But what I do admire about you, you've always been a leader, not a follower. You weren't content to just follow everybody. You question you whatever, and that's what I admire about you, because I feel like those are the people that are on the leading edge. Those are the people that are pushing us forward, because you are curious about what is, you make your own decisions. It's like I used to say, I'm not listening to critics about movies or plays or whatever. I'm going to find out for myself,
right?
Because everybody's experience is different. And for me, I feel like you should always, you have your own, as I stated before, you have your own internal guidance system.
Yeah.
And nobody else could tell you what works for you. Including your parents.
Yeah, we should end it off with that, because I was saying to my friends, to show yesterday, that you can get all the advice in the world. Well, you just continue. I'll say my part after. You done?
Well, I'm just saying, you have your own. Nobody could guide you the way you can guide you. God is talking to you directly.
Yes.
And whatever your purpose here, there's a different path you have to take than the path that I had to take. I was, single for a while, and my mother was a stay-at-home mom. There's different generation. My grandparents was raised, had a farm with 11 kids. Each generation you go back is a different thing.
Different level, a different.
My experience, practically, a single mom going to school, raising kids. My experience is different than yours is. But the fact that,
But your experience had to be what it had to be.
Right, and you can't live the same way I live.
Right.
Right. And, me and your father, we were high school sweethearts. We got married in our 20s. We had kids, We tried to do, and we had a different path than you have, and none of that is better than any others. Right. It is your path, my path, their path.
Yeah.
And it all leads us to this point, because all of that leads you to be where you are. So,
right.
What's that quote that Oprah says, or Maya Angelou says? We come as 10,000. We stand as one, but we come as 10,000. All right, Google that. Gotta see what that quote is. But I like that.
All right, so we're gonna end this off. I have more questions, but I'll do that another time. So we're gonna end this off by saying that it doesn't matter how much advice you get, or opinions or suggestions. At the end of the day, you are the only one who receives that vision, that sense of knowing what you should be doing, or that it's something within you that resonates with you and only you. So you can't go to, I can't go to my mom and tell her what my vision is and expect her to be 100% on board, because it won't resonate with her as it did with me. That's for me and for me only. No one else can have that same exact vision as you. And that's the power that you have.
That's the only power you have.
That's the power you have. Your vision is your vision. You are who you are. and there's
only
no
you
one
could be, right.
Right. There's no other person in this world that is you.
That's
So,
your fingerprint. Everybody's fingerprint is different, and your fingerprint is your soul's fingerprint.
yes.
That's what you
So
gotta do.
we are going to end this wind down
Yes, sir. Let's
with
give her credit.
that thought. And comment down below if you have any other questions that you would like to know. If you have any other suggestions that you have for me and my mom, what you would like us to see, what you would like us to talk about. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And see you next time.
Ciao.
Bye.
Au revoir.
Queen Lish. Bye.
Bye.